All right. So first of all, I just want to say thank you very much for taking the time out to do this interview with me. As I said earlier before, when I think about, first of all, you're a legend of all times. And anytime I'm asked who's my favorite MC artist, it's Rakim, hands down. And when I also think about, when I say Rakim, it's hard to sometimes say Rakim without saying Eric B. and Rakim, because the names, it's like synonymous, like you say Eric B. and Rakim. But I know that you're now doing your own thing and you're solo, and it's been that way for quite some time, right? So the thing is that rarely do you do collaborations, right? But you did the collaboration with Linkin Park. Now, so how did that come to be?
It was dope. Actually, it was an engineer that I have that was working with Linkin Park, and it was ironic that he was thinking about putting somebody on a track, and he brought my name up, and the engineer was like, well, I know somebody that know Ra, I kind of know his people, and it happened like that. My man hollered at my manager, Matt Kemp, and the rest is history, man. Linkin Park is a thorough rock and roll band, and I'm a fan of their music. My kids is a fan of their music. And when they hollered, I was like, oh, no doubt, you know what I mean? I got mad respect for them, and I always wanted to do a rock and roll joint with, a dope rock and roll band, so It came together well.
That was a dope collaboration, and it sounds like your music was your lyrics dancing all over the bass line of that. The vocals were crazy.
Thank you.
And the one thing that I also love about you is your humility. Like, you forever stay humble. Every time I see you, you're humble in everything that you do.
Yes.
And so tonight we came out to celebrate you and honor you as the legend that you are, but also to pay homage to the youth, right? So we had the Ad Youth program. So talk to me a bit about how important it is to be able to partner with the youth, and what messages do you give to the youth when you're around them?
Well, it's always good to, work with the youth and whatever I can do at any time when somebody's doing something good for the kids and the youth, I always try to, step up and just to make sure that we there for them, you know what I mean? I remember when I was coming up, I always looked for, support from, if it was my brothers and sisters, if it was the elders in the neighborhood, I just always, look for that co-signer, you know what I mean? And I think the youth today, they kind of, they need the same thing. And it's good that we have organizations now that kind of put things together for the youth and direct, their energy directly toward the youth to, make things better for them. If it's, education, if it's, taking them on trips to see things, if it's, whatever we can do, man, we're in a position to do it now. So, it's now more than ever. So.
And when you do your lyrics, the one thing that I remember you saying, I saw an interview with you. Now, this is going way back, right?
Okay.
So Sinbad, right?
Whoa.
Sonia
Right.
Sanchez, right?
Wow.
And Eric
Wow.
Dyson,
Right.
you were interviewing with them. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And what had me so excited was that they were actually saying your lyrics, and Sonia said, he is a lyricist, a true poet. He is the man. Tell me if you remember that moment, what it was to be able to like.
Word up. Every minute of it. It's like, Sonia Sanchez and my man, Mr. Dyson.
Mm-hmm.
I got mad respect for them, and for them to, give my work praises like that, it kind of put things in perspective for me and let me know that what I'm doing, it's all right, you know what I mean? And it's just a good feeling, man. And
because you also said that when you write your lyrics that there's a light, like you want people to be able to extract something from your music, to be able to do that. And you also said that, if you were to write a book, do you remember what the name of the book? What would the name of the book be?
No, I forgot.
I think you said something like all the things that you should know.
Word up. Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Right? All the things that you should know.
Word up.
And so I'm asking, when will you write a book?
Well, that's a good question. I'm in the midst of finishing a book deal right now. Just came back from California to, make it official. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to doing it because I want to let them know who I am. You know what I mean? A lot of my work was more for the listener. I try not to get too personal, but every now and then you have to. But my work was more so that the listener can listen and say, that's me. You know what I mean? So with the book, I should be able to get a little more personal and show the world, who Rakim is, on the inside. So I'm looking forward to doing that.
Well, I'd love to hear like the depth of you, but I feel like I get a lot of that in your music in terms of who you are. But there's nothing like being able to hear kind of an autobiography, if you will, the real deep and personal, the struggles, the things that have motivated you to do the music that you do today.
Exactly.
And I know you used to play saxophone, and
Yes,
you were
ma'am.
right. You just did you used to play football when you were growing up. And so I want to know, in terms of music today, how different is it from, I know how different it is, but what would you say to artists today? Do they even compare to artists of our time? Or, art music is an evolution, and we have been evolving, so props to that.
Yes.
And all due respect for the artistry to continue, but it is different.
Yeah,
what
it
do you
is.
see different about the music today versus when you were rocking the mic?
And
still are, I should say.
Thank you, word up. I think when late 80s, 90s, I think it was at a point where we understood like that rap was becoming a genre. We've been through, the Bambaataa, the Kool Herc, the Melly Mel, we've been through that era. So rap started, changing and getting mature and getting complicated and getting boisterous and getting, and I just happened to come in at that era and implement some good things at that time. But I think the substance of what we was doing at that point was a little more serious then. And I think now, rap is, moving all over the world, and in a lot of places it's young. Like back in the day in the Bronx, it was, hip hop, the hip hip, the hip 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 hop, you know what I mean? It was having fun with it.
Right.
So a lot of the places where it's at now, it's young, you know what I mean? But what's good is, it's getting bigger. We don't like that they separate it and call it hip hop, rap, pop, and you know what I mean? That's one thing that, hopefully can, change, throughout the years. But the young artists today is keeping the genre alive and keeping us, on TV, keeping us, in the public eye. Yes, man.
Because there was a time when they thought that hip hop was only going to be a fad, right? That was going to be a passive thing, and we seem to prove them wrong.
Yes,
Are there
ma'am.
any artists of today that you would see yourself collaborating with, working with?
It's a few out there. I can go with Rihanna. I can go with of course Beyonce, but she's been out for a little while. But as far as rappers, I'm liking a few of the rappers. Kendrick Lamar is doing his thing. My man Big Rick Ross down south holding it down. You got brothers like T.I. You got it's a lot of talented artists out there. That I wouldn't mind collabing with, and hopefully in the future. It'll come to fruition.
Now, as a female, right? As a female, the one thing that I realize is that in the hip-hop game, there's been women who've been in hip-hop, right? So we got the Queen Latifah, the Roxanne Shante, MC Lyte, right? All of the dope of the past. Dope, right? Dope lyricists of the past. And then there seems to have been a pause in it. We don't really have that many females. And now we just have, we have Nicki Minaj. We don't have as many as we once had. So I want to know, what do you think is the reason that women are not really being able to sustain in this industry?
I think it's, if anything, I think it's just the competition and rap is, I don't know, it's so masculine at the moment, you know what I mean? But when you look at an artist like Nicki Minaj, in the midst of all of that, she was, to me, one of the most flamboyant and one of the most, like Nicki, like she empowers the female artists to get out there. But it is a shortage, man, and I think that we gotta start recognizing, you know, like the Salt and Pepper, you know, the Light and the Latifah, you know what I mean, which is doing her thing right now with the show on the Channel 2. Big up, you know what I mean? Word is born. So it's like we just gotta keep it in, you know, our young sisters' heads that you the next Latifah, you know, you the next Nicki Minaj, you the next Salt and Pepper, and let them know that it is room out there for them, and I think it'll, you know, pick back up. Blackseedz, KIKI, TPOT Productions, man. Make sure y'all know what it is, you heard? 18th letter, baby. Peace.